Dr. Trish Johnson, Associate Superintendent for Human Resource Services.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Dr. Church, I have a couple of items for your attention this evening. I have, first of all, under Exhibit 1, all of the temporary employees employed for 2015-16, this is notification that their employment has ended. Temporary positions are filled on interim basis or tutoring purposes without knowledge of continued funding. So until there's more information about ability to re-employ some of these, especially in tutoring positions, their employment has ended. So this is official notification, requires no action. The next page, probationary teachers for rehire for the 2016-17 year. As you know, there is no longer career status, so this list will get longer, I assume, that each year we will be re-employing those probationary teachers who are eligible for continued employment. I respectfully recommend approval of these these teachers for rehire for the 2016-17 year as it has been presented to you.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the list of probationary teachers for rehire for 2016-17 as we have, as it has been presented to us.
Second.
Okay. Any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. I'd like to also mention we have a county commissioner with us here, Mike LaBrose. Mike, we're happy to have you with us anytime that you can make it. We certainly appreciate it. Next on the agenda, Dr. Stone, of course, is out of town with us tonight to take his place. Associate Superintendent Dr. Jeff Church.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, it is my excitement and it's my pleasure to introduce, to recommend 3 individuals for administrative appointments tonight. On behalf of Dr. Stone, these positions will be for 2-year contracts effective August the 18th, 2016. And the first is the assistant principalship at West Caldwell High School, Miss Jessica LaBrose Anthony, who is currently a South Caldwell High School English teacher and respectfully recommend. Excuse me, I'm sorry, Spanish teacher, I'm sorry, Spanish teacher. And I respectfully request the approval for her for West Caldwell High School.
Do I hear a motion that we approve Jessica LaBrose Anthony as assistant principal at West Caldwell High School for a 2-year term, and that to begin on August 18th?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve Jessica LaBrose Anthony for the position of assistant principal at West Caldwell High School for a 2-year contract.
Second.
Any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations.
I'm going to put her on the spot. She's here tonight. I'll let her stand up and introduce herself and say hello.
Sure,
tonight.
come on up here.
Chairman Pennell, members of the board, and Dr. Church, I just want to thank you for this opportunity to serve Caldwell County Schools in this new position, and I'm looking forward to making it a great year at West Caldwell. Thank you.
Welcome aboard. Secondly, tonight, for the assistant principalship at Hudson Middle School, I'd like to recommend Mr. Bryn McSwain, who is currently a special education teacher at Heritage Middle School. He's coming to us from Burke County with 9 years of special education experience. He will be a welcome addition and a great addition with Ms. Knight at Hudson Middle School, and I respectfully recommend he be approved as assistant principal at Hudson Middle School.
Mr. Chair, I make the motion that we approve Mr. Bryn McSwain for a 2-year contract as assistant principal at Hudson Middle School to begin August 18th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations, Barry.
Mr. McSwain is here, and I'll let him introduce himself as well.
I'd like to say thank you to everyone. It's an interesting position, not knowing many of you, and so having to sell myself through interviews as to why I feel like I'm a good fit here and the excitement level of being part of Caldwell County Schools. Look forward to serving you all and serving the community as best I can, and hopefully for a lot longer than 2 years. So thank you all, and we'll see you around.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And finally, for the South Caldwell High School Assistant Principalship, Ms. Kimberly Clark, who is currently a Family and Consumer Science education teacher there. And she'll be moving up from within the ranks at South Caldwell High School. So I respectfully recommend the approval of her as Assistant Principal at South Caldwell High School.
Do I hear a motion that we approve Kimberly Clark to be the Assistant Principal at South Caldwell High School for a 2-year term beginning on August 18th?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve Kimberly Clark as new assistant principal for South Caldwell High School. 2-year
Is it-
contract.
Second.
And a second. Comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion passes.
Thank you.
And my understanding is that she had surgery today, or she would be here. So
Goodness.
she was in surgery for 4 hours, I think somebody said. Good, that's good. But we're glad to have all 3 new assistant principals in their positions, and we look forward to working with you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is Mr. David Johnson, our finance director.
Mr. Chairman, board members, and Dr. Church, I have, the first item I've got tonight is the interim budget. 115C 434 requires that each year we do not have a budget by July 1st, that we have an interim budget. This will allow us to continue spending for necessary items. I'd like to request approval of the interim budget as I've submitted it.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the interim budget until the state provides us with a budget?
Yeah, I know last year, if you'll recall, it was October. I certainly hope it'll be sooner than that
No,
this
it's
year.
late.
Yes.
I don't, surely it won't be that late this year. It's
I don't
supposed
think
to be
so.
a short session.
It's supposed to be a short session.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the 2016-2017 interim budget as presented.
Is there a second? Any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Okay. The second thing I have is 6 budget amendments tonight. Therefore, just about every fund that we've got, most of them are just truing up things for the end of the year, and that's, of course, why we have this budget meeting after the last payroll. The first one is budget amendment number 21. It basically is covering the guaranteed allotments to PRC 9 and PRC 45 and revisions through revision number 44. Revision number 44 was dated 6/21, so that gets us real current with the state. The second one is budget amendment number 22. It is not an increase to the budget. It's just simply a transfer between, I think, 5,000s and the 7,000 purpose function. It is not an increase to the budget. Budget amendment number 23 is for the federal grants fund. It is for additional allocations to PRC 50, 104, and 111. It is for $15,106. The next one is for budget amendment number 24. It's for the capital outlay fund. We received some additional buses in May. Those were not on one of the last revisions that I gave at the June 13th meeting. So these get us caught at the $192,000 for the lease purchase of those additional school buses. Budget amendment number 25 is for the Child Nutrition Fund. It's for additional revenues for that child nutrition program. And the final budget amendment that I have tonight is for the Special Grants Fund, and is for transfers as requested by the program directors. If these amendments are approved tonight as I've submitted them, the total budget for Caldwell County Schools will be $123,698,269.98. I'd like to respectfully request they be approved.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the state school fund, current expense fund, federal grant fund, capital outlay fund, child nutrition fund, and special grant fund as presented by Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve these 5 budget amendments as presented by Mr. Johnson.
Six. 6 of them.
Yes, 6.
Okay. And a
Six
second.
of them.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, great. And the last thing I have is a audit contract for Boggs, Crump and Brown. You can see by the email that I've attached, we were lucky enough to get selected to have an audit of the state teachers and state employees retirement system. Eventually, every district in the school will get this audit, as well as local government agencies. The cost is not to exceed $2,900, as you can see on page 3 of the audit contract. The state auditor actually contacted Boggs, Crump and Brown, since they do our annual audit. And this is a one-time audit. Hopefully, this will be something that they'll do. You'll get a management letter, and we'll address any findings with the state retirement system. It's sort of piggybacked on with our annual audit, but it's not part of the annual audit process.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the addition to the 2015-16 audit contract as presented by Boggs, Crump and Brown.
Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Great,
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
How did we get so lucky as to get chosen?
I don't
How
know,
many
I
get
guess-
chosen in
I
the state
almost-
each year?
Just this year, there's on that.
Yeah, I saw the list, so.
Eleven.
There's 9 or 10 on there.
Yeah.
And that doesn't include the local governments.
Right,
These are just
right.
listed in the
Right.
school district. This is the second year I think they've done this.
Huh, okay.
Last year, I think there were about 12 school districts that had it.
Very good. Do I hear a motion we adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, I move we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. And have a great summer. And hopefully we'll see you at the early college on July the 11th for our reception and meeting there. Have a great 4th.